Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA. It's 507. I am Brendan. All right, UFC Shanghai Walker versus Zhang prelims is going to be Hayisaer Maheshate versus Gage Young. The rest of the prelims are going to go through those, kind of break down the fights a little bit, talk about the scorecards, give you guys a recap. So if you're not interested, you don't have to watch them. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. There's videos coming out. I appreciate it. Blah, blah, blah. I like all those housekeeping things. Sound so annoying, and I'm sorry. But anyway, timestamps are down below for individual fights if you're looking for something specific. If you did not watch these prelims, do yourself a favor. Some really good fights. Really good fights. Interesting finishes, fun stuff. They won't keep you down. I believe that this is worth your time. And I know that these are on super early, so a lot of people didn't go watch these. But if you're even remotely interested, go watch these. It is worth your time. All right. That's out of the way. Spoilers. Let's get into it. All right. Maheshate versus Gage Young. Both guys landed some low kicks. Some kicks. Young going low and landing hard. Maheshate going front up the middle into the face. Maheshate just standing his ground, looking to keep his head right on center, landing hard. Young landing a left hook in combo, and Maheshate drops for a second. So, a little bit of a drop there. I don't know if it was, a little bit of a lost balance, but it looked like a good clean drop to me. Young with a great takedown. They get right back up, clinch along the fence. Bigger damage, control from Young. Seems like either guy landing flush could change this fight, but Young outlanded him 31-18. Got that knockdown. Was it official one? Was it an official knockdown? It was not. There were no knockdowns. Okay. Second round here, Maheshate landing in the exchange, staggering Young, who's forced to wrestle. So you're like, okay, here it is. Maheshate's finally landing heavy. You figure that's what he was looking for. That's what's going to change his fight. But both guys with a good jab. Young still going with the low kicks, and Maheshate's letting Young get into his range every single time. Maheshate is so much taller, so much longer. He wasn't keeping his range. He wasn't using his range to keep him on the outside. Young was working himself in, keeping the pressure and the pace, using that jab and the combo sporadically. Maheshate looking to land one big shot, but it's just not enough. Young just outworking him, 45-24. This pace, and he gets an easy takedown, landing a little ground and pound to end the round. And they get back up. Maheshate grabs the fence. Yeah, there were a lot of fouls that went not just unnoticed, but just like, the commentary didn't care. And nobody gave a shit. It was like, oh, let's just keep fighting. It felt very undergroundy when it came to that kind of stuff. Anyway, another clear round for Gage Young. I think he was a huge underdog. I remember what the odds were. Last round, Maheshate goes to the takedown for some reason, and Young just shoves him over, getting into the clinch. Maheshate looks super tired, and this just is not going to get it done. Young could even take this with the volume, but I thought Maheshate landed big enough shots in this last round to outdo the damage of Young, so I gave it to him. But he did outland him 36-24. Young outlanding him in every single round. I gave the damage in the last one to Maheshate, but if you did not, you gave it to Young. I totally understand. Looking at the scorecards here, nobody gave that last round to Maheshate. Really? See, this is weird. So that first round, Ben Cartledge gave to Maheshate. Maybe. All right. Evan Field gave that second round to Maheshate. That is a horrible scorecard, and David Leatherby gave all three rounds to Young. Yeah, it really came down to the value you put onto those big shots. Do you think he was really rocked? Do you think he hurt him bad? I didn't. I gave him the last round. But I can be convinced otherwise. Just when I watched it live, scored it live, that's how I saw it. So I'm not mad about it. Relatively good fight to watch. Don't sleep on Energy. Charles Johnson taking on Lonnie Kavanagh. Don't you sleep on Energy. These people out here, man. Y'all. The commentary team. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Man, low kicks from both guys. I'll talk about it when I get to it. Kavanagh landing some hard kicks, finding the mark. Kavanagh looked freaking phenomenal. Johnson was having so many issues getting going. Kavanagh picking his spots, landing in different, landing everything he wanted to do, finding the mark when he wanted, how he wanted. If things went this way, Johnson just needed to out-cardio him. So I'm like, what's going to need to happen is he's going to need to tire out Kavanagh, outwork him, and he's got a lot of work to do because this round was one-way traffic. Kavanagh 36-14 for striking numbers. Clearly in his favor. Second round, Johnson staying light on the feet, keeping the pressure on. Right, his activity level went up a little bit. His output went up a little bit. Takedown attempts, and Kavanagh used the guillotine to get out of both of them from Johnson. And then Kavanagh used the takedown. He got him down, didn't really do any striking with it, and Johnson landing some elbows when they got back up into the clinch. And you're like, oh, they kept saying, like, well, Kavanagh's just showing him he's better everywhere. And I was like, this seems like a mistake. And then Johnson really started to put the pressure on him, forcing Kavanagh to work, and I noticed it. I was like, you could tell. Kavanagh was getting tired. His hands weren't coming back up. His output went down. You're like, oh, shit. Johnson's putting it on him. I've seen this movie before, and I know how it ends. And Johnson's chasing him down. Kavanagh's rolling to his left, and Johnson puts him out with a right hand, just out cold, and the commentary got real quiet. Real quiet. Y'all don't want Charles Johnson to win, huh? You guys did the same thing when he was fighting Joshua Van. You did the same thing when he was fighting Joshua Van. All you did was talk about how Joshua Van's outstriking him, outdoing him. Charles Johnson outstruck him in the first round. And all they did was talk about how good Van did in that first round. Second round, Van outstruck him legitimately, but Charles Johnson still held his own, thought he was doing great. Then he finished him in the third round because I felt like the pressure he's putting on him. He did not start his UFC career out from 2022 to 2023 too great, right? He went 2-4, not excellent. Since then, he has gone 5-1. And his win over Joshua Van, who's fighting for the title next, looks real good right now. Right? And his loss to Ramazan Tamirov, not too bad. Yeah, I don't think he got blown out. He didn't get blown out in that loss. Y'all need to stop sleeping on him. The dude's legit, and he's good. I love watching Charles Johnson fights because now I'm rooting for him against the commentary. It's like now it's me against the commentary and whoever else he's fighting against. Awesome job, man. Austin Hubbard versus Rongzhu. Not the right Jew, just the wrong Jew. Hubbard able to keep some pressure on early, looking to mix things up in the hands of the target. Rongzhu's really trying to land hard with that right hand, doubling up on that jab, getting into range, setting it up. The impact difference is really making the difference for Rongzhu, right? That's what's putting the things in his favor. Because you look at the striking numbers here, 20-18, nothing crazy, but Rongzhu was landing the harder shots, and Hubbard just had no answer for it. Hubbard got the takedown with 50 seconds left, but they get back up. Not a lot of stuff going on for him. 10-9 for Rongzhu in that first round. Second round, closer in the striking numbers, 29-28 in favor of Rongzhu. But again, Hubbard got the takedown, didn't do anything with it. He found some success at the front kick to the body. I thought he did enough to win this with his volume. Looking at the striking numbers, you're like, maybe. But I gave Hubbard the second round, but it just didn't feel like he was really winning. You know, even if I gave him this round, it didn't feel like he was winning the fight. And I understand that you can have that feeling and still win rounds and eventually win the fight, sure. But I just felt like one big shot from Rongzhu, and it just instantly erases everything Hubbard's doing. Rongzhu landing with that hard uppercut, the big right hand, and Hubbard's pace just isn't high enough in this last round. Not able to do anything, not able to get anything done, and got outstruck big time in this one, 52-29. Looking at the striking numbers, Evan Field and David Lethaby both gave that second round to Austin Hubbard, but Clemens Warner gave all three to Rongzhu. That's fair. That's fine. It's understandable. All right, let's go to a fight that ended pretty fast. as the commentary team's talking shit about Kyle Daukaus' power. Michael Bisping. Kyle Daukaus versus Michel Pereira. Not a whole lot. To 5-2. Striking numbers in favor of Daukaus. Pereira landing to the body with that kick a couple times. Daukaus landing that right hook, and Pereira goes down. That was it. He followed up. That's not true. He went down. He followed up, and Pereira went out momentarily a couple times on the ground, but immediately got back up when I think it was Mark Goddard. Yeah, Mark Goddard called a stop to it. I think that was a bad stoppage. Just the timing was not right. I think if he had stopped it a few seconds earlier, it would have been a better stoppage. Maybe not. I think they need to let that one play out just a little bit. Just a little bit. Great for Kyle Daukaus, though, coming back to the UFC and getting a win. Xiao versus Westin Wilson. I'm not even going to pull up stats. The Westin Wilson does not look good. He's got his head straight up. He gets cracked so much. He's getting cracked with left hands right away, drops and goes to sleep. And then that's it. Dude. Excellent fight by Xiao. Excellent fight. Westin, dude, you gotta get a new game plan, man, or get some new trainers because this is bad. SuYoung versus Xiao Long. Sorry. A little bit of controversy here. Maybe. Yeah, I would say so. All right. Xiao running across with that flying immediately, and then measuring from both guys. So nothing crazy when they started here. Clinch work, neither guy doing much. Both guys landing some knees to the body. Really lackluster round with Xiao on the outside circling. And you just not walking into range, right? You was following him, but not moving himself into range. Nobody's really landing. You wants to counter, and he landed a couple nice shots in that round. Activity goes to Zhu. For sure. Zhu outstruck him 11-10. I felt like he outdamaged him. Xiao, did I say you? I meant Xiao. Xiao outdamaged him. Xiao wins this round, right? He outstruck him. But maybe this is where it came from. We'll look at the scorecards together because I haven't seen him yet. Yeah. All right, second round. Zhu trying to explode into range and landing something big, but Yu is sliding out of the way and landing really good counters, right? He caught him with the lead hook to counter the flying knee. No. Zhu is throwing bigger looping shots, but he's just missing big. And Yu is landing better. Zhu landed a couple shots down the stretch, but he was so far ahead of, he was so far behind in damage that it doesn't matter. So 19-19. Striking numbers were 25-16 in favor of Yu. Clearly his round, 19-19 going to the last round. Zhu is over swinging, slipping almost every time with those big shots. And then he gets yelled at for grabbing the shorts. Not a very disciplined fight for him, but then his pressure and cardio really started to pay dividends, and Yu started to break. Much more active, outstriking him here, 41-23. And then I gave Xiao Long the fight 29-28. Looking at the scorecards here. Of course they're not here. Why would they be here? Oh my goodness, that is so frustrating. Guys. Let's find it. I know where it is. Let's see here. Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties. Kind of sloppy. Yeah. They all gave you the first 2 rounds. They all gave you the first 2 rounds. Okay. I disagree. I feel like Xiao was landing the bigger shots, but all right. I'm not as mad about that one. I think that Xiao kept it too close, maybe. It's really that first round. That sucks. I felt like he won that one. All right, Diyar, Nurgozhay versus Uran Satybaldiev. Nurgozhay, Satybaldiev. Nurgozhay, always wiping that eye. He's just always wiping his right eye. Always. Like right away. It's so weird, but everybody has their ticks. Okay, everybody's got their thing. Some people grab shorts like Dustin Poirier. Some people, like shake their arms out. Lots of people do things. His is just very obvious and kind of weird. Both guys going to the body with their kicks and trying with those lead hooks in the straights. Satybaldiev landing that first flush shot to the chin, puts him down with the right hand, and then going for the Kimura, getting it behind the back, really nasty, and then going for the Ezekiel choke on top and gets the Ezekiel finish. Incredible finish for him. Really good stuff. Like, Ezekiel chokes are very difficult when there's no gi, and, outside of one fighter in the UFC. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. I know you guys are all yelling at me because I don't remember his name. I'm going to see it and be so mad. Alexei Oleinik. So dumb. Of course I know who that is. Other than him, you really haven't seen it, so interesting finish to see. Overall, I do recommend going to watch those, especially the last couple fights on the prelims. It's worth your time. Throw it on in the background. Wait till you hear the noise for the action. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of thing. That way you know next video is coming out. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate y'all. If you think about anything you want to let me know down in the comments. I love you guys. Have an amazing week. Peace.